to Davis. I think he has him cut under the eye. Just cut Avila and Davis.
It is what it is. And again, the media like to hate him too. So, I'm going to catch a lot of that backlash too. But I mean, it is what it is. I ain't really stunned that too much. I'm not worried about narrative. I'm worried about what I can do in the ring.
All right, brother.
The boxing world is buzzing once again as Tank Davis gets ready to face Lamont Roach on March 1st. Fans are not only talking about the fight itself, but also the intense energy between the two fighters during their recent face-off. The tension was off the charts, with both men exchanging harsh words that almost led to a full-blown brawl.
There's a rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight.
In the weeks leading up to the fight, Tank Davis has been turning heads with his physique. Known for his raw power and speed, he's looking sharper than ever this time around. Social media went wild when he posted a picture showing off his sculpted body. Fans quickly noticed that he was already at or near his fighting weight, sending a clear message that he's taking Lamont Roach seriously. One fan commented, "And you guys think he's going to retire? He's clearly very motivated." Another fan added, "I thought he wasn't disciplined, always blowing up in weight between fights. This guy is serious."
That way against Davis, because when they land 1-for-1, the power edge.
Would you be content if you won this and that's your last fight? Or nah, still some more heads you gotta put on the wall?
Yeah, it's definitely some more heads to put on the wall.
Lamont Roach, on the other hand, has kept things pretty quiet, but his team has been sharing small clips of his intense training. They claim he's bringing a level of speed and endurance that's never been seen before. When Davis and Roach finally faced off, things quickly heated up. The tension was palpable. Davis, known for his intense stare-downs, stepped forward with his signature cold glare, but Roach didn't back down. He met Davis's intensity head-on. The verbal back and forth started almost immediately. Davis leaned in and said, "You won't last 3 rounds with me. You'll be out cold." Roach fired back, "Keep underestimating me, and you'll be the one looking up at the lights."
And bombs away for Davis. All that confidence we saw.
I can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
The tension between the two grew so intense that security had to intervene. Davis seemed ready to throw a punch, and Roach pushed forward in response. Although Davis is in peak physical shape, he has suggested that 2025 might be his last year in boxing. At just 30 years old, this revelation has sparked a lot of discussion among fans and analysts. One fan questioned, why would he retire now? He's got so many big fights ahead. Another fan, less sympathetic, asked, when will Davis face a real challenge? Roach isn't it. He needs to fight Lomachenko or Kessin Davis before he even thinks about retiring.
We saw in Avila in the first couple rounds has dissipated because of that cut. That.
Are you retiring?
What changed? What made this shit trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Modern.
Shakur Stevenson also weighed in, adding more tension to the situation. He's the big superstar, Stevenson said in an interview with TalkSport. The ball is in his court. I can't make him an offer, but Tank can. I don't know why it hasn't happened. He's a strange guy. Honestly, I don't have much respect for him. Stevenson's remarks have only fueled further speculation that a fight between him and Davis is bound to happen, unless Tank retires first.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming and he haven't done nothing.
Although Davis is widely seen as the favorite, Lamont Roach is no easy opponent. Roach has been quietly building a strong career, and his training camp has been specifically focused on finding ways to exploit Davis's weaknesses. Tank has power, no doubt, Roach said during a recent media session, but he's not invincible. He's been rocked before. If I stay disciplined, I'll take him into deep waters and drown him. Roach's team has reportedly been working hard on strategies to counter Davis's explosive style, focusing on their fighter's endurance and his ability to avoid Tank's powerful left hook. If Davis defeats Roach, fans are already eagerly speculating about his next move. The two most anticipated options are a long-awaited fight with Vasyl Lomachenko or a massive showdown with Kessin Davis. Either of these matchups would draw huge attention and could even make Davis reconsider his plans to retire. However, if Roach manages to pull off an upset, it would shake up the boxing world. A victory for Roach would catapult him to superstardom and likely lead to a rematch or a title shot against another top contender. The fan base is split. Some believe Tank will easily beat Roach. Roach is in trouble, one fan wrote. There's no way Davis is retiring after this. He looks too motivated.
First couple rounds has dissipated because of that cut. That body shot hurt him. Big body.
I mean, if he want to retire with the career that he got, then go ahead and do whatever you got to do. So I disagree with it. I think it's soft, but that's on him.
Do you still think that fight's possible? I know he might have...
Some people believe Lamont Roach actually has a real chance, arguing that Davis is underestimating him. One comment even warned that this could be a dangerous mistake, pointing out that Roach has nothing to lose and everything to gain. Tank Davis, on the other hand, has made it clear that he's not just confident, he's a force to be reckoned with. As the undefeated WBA lightweight champion, Davis has spent years building a reputation as a knockout artist, and his upcoming fight with Roach on March 1 is already drawing attention. Davis recently reminded everyone of his impressive record, having handed 8 undefeated fighters their first loss. But what does this mean for his fight with Roach? And what does the future hold for Davis as he nears the end of his career?
Hurt him. Big body shots. Borrego drops back down to cover up his midsection.
Davis's Instagram post saying, "I am dangerous," wasn't just a bold claim. It was a warning to Lamont Roach and the entire lightweight division. If there's one thing Davis is known for, it's his ability to break his opponent's confidence. Whether it was Jose Pedraza in 2017 or Ryan Garcia in 2023, Davis excels at shattering the undefeated image that surrounds top fighters. His rise to fame hasn't been about talent alone, it's also been fueled by his relentless work ethic and desire to dominate. His victory over Frank Martin in June 2024 showed just how dangerous he truly is. After a major win against Ryan Garcia, Davis didn't waste any time getting back to training. He knocked Martin out in brutal fashion, proving once again that he's one of the most feared fighters in boxing today.
I will never let nobody play me like that in negotiations ever again. That will never happen. Ever. I'm going to beat this guy, this guy, this guy. I'm going to get so big that Gervonta has to fight me. And we're going to do it on the right and fair terms.
As one boxing expert put it, Davis isn't just looking for a win. He wants to make a statement with every fight. And that statement is clear. Don't mess with Tank. While Lamont Roach may not have the undefeated record of some of Davis's past opponents, he's far from an easy fight. At 31 years old, Roach has proven his resilience, power, and determination, and he's ready to take on the challenge. Despite most people favoring Davis, Roach is confident in his abilities. He believes Davis is underestimating him, thinking it will be just another easy win. "I'm here to shock the world," Roach said during a recent press event.
Borrego drops back down to cover up his midsection, exposes the head. The crowd senses.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling you, you saying you going down in a night?
Roach's team has reportedly been studying Davis's previous fights closely to find any weaknesses they can take advantage of. One area they may focus on is Davis's tendency to get hit early in fights before finding his rhythm. Roach's approach will likely involve fast combinations and constant movement, aiming to avoid being trapped by Davis's powerful shots. The road to this fight hasn't been smooth. Davis first announced his fight with Roach months ago, but delays and scheduling issues caused frustration on both sides. At one point, Davis even said the fight was off, leaving fans and media confused. However, after weeks of back-and-forth negotiations, both fighters are now set for their March 1st showdown in Brooklyn, New York.
Here.
Look at, but again, that young man is still in there fighting, but he got to get his hands.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
The delays may have actually worked out in Lamont Roach's favor, giving him extra time to prepare for the biggest fight of his career. But for Davis, it was just another test of patience. "This sport's all about politics now," Davis said in a recent interview. "Too much talking, not enough fighting. I'm just ready to shut everyone up." The biggest surprise in Davis's story is his plan to retire at just 30 years old. He announced that he intends to leave the sport by the end of 2025. This decision has caught fans and critics off guard, especially considering he's at the peak of his career. For Davis, though, it's about focusing on his health and happiness. I've given everything to boxing, he said in an honest interview. I love the sport, but it takes a toll. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I don't want to be one of those guys who stays too long and ends up broken.
You're right, this could be a stoppage. Final seconds of the round. You cannot be saved by the bell. Avila stays up through the bell. Wow. Look at the wind-up. The subtlety is gone in this fight. It's a...
This isn't the first time Davis has expressed frustration with the boxing world. He's been vocal about his issues with the business side of the sport, calling it trash, and showing disappointment with the constant politics involved. Davis has also made it clear that money is a big factor in his decision to retire. The goal was always to make as much money as possible and get out while I'm still healthy, he admitted. He's firm on his stance. Once I'm done, I'm done. No comebacks, no exhibitions, none of that.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
After our second fight. You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
For Davis, financial freedom means the ability to walk away from boxing on his own terms, knowing he's had multiple million-dollar pay-per-view fights. He's already secured his place as one of the sport's top earners. But even with retirement on his mind, Davis still has unfinished business. He plans to fight at least 3 more times before calling it quits, and fans are hoping those fights will include huge matchups with Shakur Stevenson or Vasyl Lomachenko. If Davis defeats Lamont Roach, the calls for a fight with Stevenson will only get louder. Stevenson, who has been very clear about wanting to face Davis, recently said that if Tank is serious about his legacy, he knows which fight needs to happen next.
Not be saved by the bell. Avila stays up.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a 1-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not worth it. He's not worth no multi-fight. He's not even worth it.
Another potential opponent for Davis is Kesson Davis, a rising star in the lightweight division who has been actively seeking a chance to face Tank. Fans have also discussed the possibility of a rematch with Ryan Garcia, though that seems less likely due to the clear nature of their first fight. Regardless of who his next opponent is, one thing is clear: Davis wants to go out on top. I'm not leaving any doubts behind, he said. When I'm done, they'll know I was the best.
Oh, Ryan? He's crazy. He's crazy. Talk about rematch. He said I was the best at 135 to 42. He said that. Say he won't fight me again. I'll kick his ass again.
Tank Davis plans to retire in 2025 after just 3 more fights, and his upcoming match against Lamont Roach is already stirring up some interesting conversations. However, the real excitement lies in the potential future blockbuster fights, especially with Shakur Stevenson now entering the mix. Stevenson is gearing up for his fight against Floyd Schofield Jr. on February 22nd in Riyadh, but talks about a possible showdown with Davis have already begun to heat up. Kenny Ellis, co-trainer to Davis, didn't hold back when discussing Stevenson's mentality in an interview with Mill City Boxing. Ellis accused Stevenson of hesitating and dragging his feet when it comes to stepping up and facing Tank.
Look at the wind-up. The subtlety is gone in this fight. It's about Davis believing he can get Avila out of there. And man, he was
a good boxer, nigga. Like, that's one way I look at y'all two as the best in the division.
How? Show me something that he did show me something that he did outrageous. Show me.
Right.
His power not outrageous.
Okay.
What defense?
You think he got defense?
He just jumped.
Ellis even suggested that Stevenson might come up with an excuse like a hand injury to delay a future fight with Davis. Even if his hand isn't actually hurt. Even if his hand isn't hurt, it's going to hurt, Ellis said, implying that Stevenson's strategy might be about buying time rather than truly preparing for Tank. Ellis's comments were blunt and reflect the growing tension between both camps, with each accusation adding fuel to the fire of potential fight talks. Despite these claims, Stevenson has shown no fear of facing Davis in the ring. He made his position clear during an interview with EZAT Talk Sports, saying that a fight with Davis wouldn't just be about bragging rights. Instead, it would be a defining moment for both of their careers and legacies.
3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them.
A lot of people try to make it seem like I need him, Stevenson said, but honestly, he needs me just as much as I need him. It's clear that Stevenson isn't backing down and believes that a matchup with Davis is inevitable. However, for now, he's focused on his upcoming fight with Sheffield and isn't looking past that before thinking about future opponents. Promoter Eddie Hearn is also planning Stevenson's next few fights. According to Hearn, the goal is to arrange 3 big-name opponents: Floyd Schofield, William Zepeda, and finally Davis. Hearn has high hopes for the Stevenson-Davis showdown, predicting it could become one of the biggest fights in boxing by 2025. This timeline means Stevenson will be busy for the next year, but everything seems to be leading toward that fight with Tank. That fight will be one of the biggest in the world, Hearn claimed, showing just how much excitement is building for this potential matchup.
I love that combination when you put a 3-punch combination in between that instead.
I said send a contract, we can make. I done said, bro, I'm not even like no delusional nigga. I don't get out there and just say anything. So it's like, I'm not gonna act like I'm the A side or, oh, I deserve 50-50. Yo, bro, let's negotiate. Let's see where it goes from there. I know I'm the B side, but that's fine.
The rivalry between Davis and Stevenson has been building for some time, and fans are eagerly waiting for it to become a reality. Both fighters have undefended records and exceptional skills, which makes the idea of them facing off even more exciting. Tank is famous for his knockout power and his ability to end fights in dramatic fashion, while Stevenson is known for his technical brilliance and defensive mastery. A fight between these two wouldn't just be about raw power versus strategy. It would be a battle of wills, pride, and legacy. Yes.
Guys. As well you should, champ. Well you should, champ.
Why do you think people say that Shakur Stevenson then is the next big thing in the sport?
For one, I really think the fans don't really see nobody beating Shakur. When people bring up him and Tank, when I see and I go read like little stuff about it, they really be debating. It don't be like, oh, Tank is going.
Critics have pointed out that Stevenson's style might give Davis some trouble. Tank's usual approach of chasing opponents with powerful punches has been successful against aggressive or less disciplined fighters. However, Stevenson's movement and defensive skills could force Davis to make adjustments. On the other hand, some believe Davis's aggressive style and ability to close the distance could be too overwhelming for Stevenson to handle in a 12-round fight. Meanwhile, the tension between their teams only adds to the excitement. Ellis's recent comments are not the first time someone from Team Davis has taken a shot at Stevenson. Both camps have exchanged verbal jabs through the media, and each insult, whether verbal or in the ring, has only increased the anticipation for this potential showdown.
So some fights can still happen. But after this year, I'm out of.
Can we see you with Shakur before you go?
Why you no retire? For what? Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport?
The timing of a potential fight between Davis and Stevenson is another important factor to consider. If Davis is serious about retiring after 2025, the fight with Stevenson would need to happen within the next year and a half. This makes every upcoming fight crucial, as any injury or surprise upset could throw off their plans. Both fighters will need to stay healthy and focused. Stevenson's fight with Schofield in February will be watched closely, not only for the outcome, but also to see if Stevenson is preparing for the expected showdown with Davis. Another challenge is the promotional side of things. Since Davis and Stevenson are promoted by different camps, negotiations could get complicated if both sides try to maximize the financial rewards from the fight.
Still clears Avila, the box.
Still the deal on the kings of that division, the kings of this era, the kings of everything. So, like I've been saying it for years, the moment is gonna come, and when it happens, I'll be ready.
Why does Shakur Stevenson beat Gervonta Davis?
Because that I'm a better skilled boxer.
Given how big this potential rematch is, it's hard to imagine either fighter letting it slip away. Tank Davis has kept the possibility of a highly anticipated rematch with Ryan Garcia very much alive, sparking excitement among fans. Their first fight, which took place in April 2023 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, was a huge event. It attracted more than 1 million pay-per-view buys and brought in over $20 million at the gate, even though it was a non-technical bout held at a catch weight of 136 pounds. The fight got massive attention, and Davis, undefeated at the time, handed Garcia his first professional loss with a 7th-round stoppage. Now, talk of a rematch has fans wondering if this rivalry will be reignited.
No rematch necessary. Stop bringing that up. The second Ryan Garcia hit the Colin Kaepernick in the middle of the fight. All rematch clauses.
Garcia's performance in his first fight with Davis received some criticism, with many feeling he didn't perform at his best. Garcia himself pointed to the 136 lb weight limit as a major factor, saying the weight cut affected his energy and focus, leaving him less sharp in the ring. He believes he wasn't at his full potential when he faced Davis that night. Since then, Davis has gone on to win the WBA lightweight title and solidify his reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the lightweight division. But Garcia is still determined to get a rematch and settle the score.
Avila needed to show something at the beginning of the round to stay in it, and now Davis.
Hopefully I fight Ryan again. If they're not on some host, I text that ass again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. Know what I mean? When I start streaming out that.
Currently, Garcia is serving a 1-year suspension after testing positive for Osterine before his scheduled fight with Devin Haney. The 26-year-old fighter is expected to return to the ring in May 2025, where he'll face Rolando Romero at the welterweight limit. This could make it more difficult for Garcia to arrange a rematch with Davis. Romero is known for his powerful punches, and if Garcia wins, it would add even more excitement and anticipation to a potential second showdown with Davis.
Now, that's 4 punches thrown. They've all been effective.
And they've all been heavy. Ryan Garcia can't beat Tank Davis, and he knows that. He knows it. He knows that. He shared the ring with him. He knows that.
Davis recently spoke to ES News and didn't completely rule out a rematch with Garcia, but he made it clear that there are certain conditions he wants to be met before that happens. He acknowledged that the public is eager to see this fight again, but he stressed that he won't face Garcia at another catchweight like before, specifically not at 143 pounds. He believes 140 lbm would be the right weight class, as it's the next step up from his usual 135 lbms. Davis also laid out strict rehydration rules, saying if they do meet at 140 lbms, Garcia could rehydrate up to 150 or a maximum of 152 lbms. Davis explained, "I'm 135, brother," referring to the weight he fights at. Davis's insistence on these terms highlights how much the weight situation impacted the first fight storyline. While he's open to discussions, a major obstacle could be Garcia's future in the welterweight division. Garcia is set to fight Romero at a higher weight, which could lead him to move up to 147 pounds permanently, making it harder for him to drop back down to 140 pounds for a rematch. Despite these weight concerns and ongoing talks, there's no denying that the demand for a rematch is huge. Both fighters bring star power, history, and unfinished business to the table. Fans are eager to see whether Garcia can get revenge for his loss or if Davis will continue to dominate. With Davis planning to retire by the end of 2025, time is running out for this rematch to take place if the conditions are met. If they do end up fighting again, it could easily become one of the biggest boxing events of the year. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.